Okay, welcome to part two of Let's Discuss with Missymak, and I'm speaking with Jennifer on her health issues. And in part one, she, explained that it was at work when she first started to feel unwell. So I will let her pick up from where she left off in part one.
All right. So when the doctor gave me the referral, I said to my son, "You're gonna have to carry me home because my son is there from school and he doesn't know what happened. So I have to go get his bag packed, get some things for him, and send him off to his grandma because I know I'm going to be admitted, so I have to take care of him." And then my son said, "No, mommy, no, mommy, you have to go to the hospital." The doctor said, "Straight hospital because your heart can give way any minute." And I said, "The God that I serve is not going to let that happen to me." And I forced him to come to Old Harbor. And I packed his suitcase. I put his food together, his snacks together, and everything. And I called my brother to meet us in Spanish Town, and I sent him off. When I went to the emergency room at the university hospital, I had to do the test all over again. And that's when I broke down.
Right.
Immediately, I had, they put me in the critical area. And that critical area, I had um, an experience. When they did the results all over again, they realized that immediate care has to be done.
Right.
There were nurses and doctors all over me. And right up until the night, they were still working to get down my heartbeat. And it could never get down. My heartbeat was 280 beats per minute. And they tried all the medications that they have. And is when it was like after 12, I remember looking on the many machines that I was stringed up to,
Mm.
even the ventilator, because my heart was going. It was going.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was there praying, and I was there praying. And when they did everything that they could have done, they said, "There's nothing else we can do."
Wow.
And that was after 12 in the early morning. And they left me.
So at this point, they were saying to you they can't do anything for you.
Yes,
So they were just waiting for you to.
yes,
Wow.
yes. So they left me in the emergency room. And I laid there and I prayed. And I prayed and I said, "God, if you give me one more chance at life, I will serve you with all the fibers in my body. I will not disappoint you. I will serve you right up until you're ready to take me." God, remember, the children at school are depending on me. Their parents are depending on me.
Mm.
My children are depending on me. And I have so many people who are depending on me. So give me one more chance at life. And I fell asleep.
Right.
In the 4 o'clock, I heard some footsteps. Those are the footsteps that wake me. I heard the footsteps. Two persons came in. So one would be a doctor and one would be a nurse. I heard when the doctor said, "Is she the patient?" And the nurse said, yes. I, God send that doctor right in there at that time, because I don't know what the conversation was, but it was all about me that evening and the night. So God sent her. It's a female doctor, and she asked, did you give her this medication? And the nurse said yes. Did you give her that? And she started to name the medications that would bring down the heartbeat, and all of them she said yes. And she said, did you give her this? She called the name, and they said no. She said no. And she said, okay, come, let's go, because I'm going to find this medication, and if this doesn't work, then there's nothing else we can do. And about 5 minutes time, I heard her rushing back, and she said to the other person beside her, I'm going to give her this, and if this doesn't work, then it's over.
So can I just say, when they came back in, because you fell asleep now, and they expected you to maybe
Yes,
pass. So when they came back, they just came back really just
to see if I am passed.
if you have got okay.
Yes.
And then they saw that you were still there.
Yes.
That's when they decided.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And so she came with the medication, and I laid there with my eyes closed, and I said, God, this is it. Let it work. And I felt when she it's as if she pumped the thing in the IV on my hand. And when that medication started to penetrate my body, the whole body was on fire. And I said, God, this is it. You have to make it work. And she said, if this doesn't work, there's nothing we could do. And they left. Minutes to 6, I heard when somebody drew the curtain. And then she went away. And then all of a sudden, a multitude of doctors and nurses came. And they were all clapping. And I said, thank you, Jesus. This is it. And they were conversing, and they were saying things like, oh, the medication worked. Oh, this is good, and good sign. And they came in, and they did all the things that they should have done. And I was there giving praise, giving thanks in my heart, because I couldn't talk. I just doing everything in my heart. And, the afternoon of that day, they put me on the ward. Right.
Wow. So they've taken you off the critical.
Yes.
Now, and they've put you onto. Well, I suppose it's still
the critical area, but
yeah, but you're now out of that state. They've
yes,
put you in a ward, so that's a good sign.
Yes, very good sign. And they put me in front the nurses' quarter because I was still critical. The morning after that, they were changing over nurses and doctors. So these set of nurses now, they would be introducing them to each patient. So my bed was the first one. So they came, and the nurse was introducing me to them, to the nurses, the new nurses on that shift. And I laid there, my eyes closed, and I heard when one of them said, this is the medication that Dr. So-and-so gave her last night. And one of the nurses said, oh my God, this is the medication anybody died. They don't live. And I lay there with my eyes closed, hearing everything. They did not know that I am hearing because I just laid there meditating on God. And I said in my heart, God, you see that medication that they gave me. And this nurse is saying, anybody who get this medication,
Don't live.
don't live.
My word.
Use it
Yes.
to heal me.
Yes.
And that's what happened. That is what happened. I was there, and for that whole week, they gave me the medication. But they came and they looked at me every single second. There was a nurse who was assigned to me, and there was this head cardiologist who was assigned to me as well. When he came that morning to look at me, when he read my docket that they wrote up and look at me in the bed, he said, but the things that I am seeing here is not the same person I see on the bed. And I smiled. And the doctor said, the cardiologist said, how are you feeling? I said, I am blessed.
Mm-hmm.
And he shook his head and said, you are really blessed. Because what I am seeing here, and to look at you, it's two different things.
Yes.
But anyway, we're going to do what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So he referred the medication to me, and the nurses gave me, and like every morning he came and checked. And so they decided to do the angiogram. So 2 weeks of that medication, along with other medication to get back the other organs in shape,
Right.
before I do the angiogram. All right. The morning 2 weeks after that, at one Thursday morning, they were prepping me for the procedure. And I prayed about it because they saw blockages in the arteries. So they were going to move those blockages,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going to put in stents. That Thursday morning, the cardiologist told them to do an x-ray to make sure that blockages are there.
Yes.
They went and did the x-ray with me, and it showed that there were blockages. They got me ready for the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went into the passage, and this is something that is so real, I have to tell people that there is a God, and a God who always in your corner if you exercise faith and trust him.
Pause there again for a moment. We're going to take a break there for a moment, and we're going to come back with part 3 of Jennifer's journey, health journey. Thank you for listening. See you again soon.